The Council ignored warnings. Do not attack humanity, HFY. Far beyond the reaches of the Milky Way, in a region of space untouched by human eyes, the Grand Council of the Stars gathered in their enormous chamber. Thousands of delegates from hundreds of alien civilizations filled the room, their forms ranging from glowing orbs to six-legged creatures covered in iridescent scales. Their voices, though different in sound, merged into a low hum of anticipation. At the center of the chamber floated the council's ancient leader, a being known only as Varnes. Its eyes glowed with quiet authority as it raised a limb, calling the room to silence. "Order," it commanded, and the room fell still. "We are here to discuss the matter of humanity." The name caused a ripple of chatter. Most species had only heard stories of Earth's inhabitants. They were described as fragile, unpredictable, and easily dominated. Some had watched from afar, noting that humans had not yet left their small, blue planet in any meaningful way. Many council members believed this made them an easy target. "Humanity is primitive," said Elter, a tall, crystalline being from the frozen world of Thrynos. Its voice was cold, logical. "They have no fleets capable of interstellar travel. Their technology is laughable compared to ours. To delay is to waste opportunity. We should strike now and claim their planet as a resource." A murmur of agreement passed through the chamber. Several other delegates nodded, showing approval. Many were eager to gain control of Earth's oceans, minerals, and fertile lands, but not all shared this confidence. A smaller, amphibious delegate named Kyra rose slowly, her fins fluttering nervously. "I disagree," she said softly but firmly. "We have underestimated humans before. Their history is short, yes, but it is filled with extraordinary resilience. They survive the harshest environments, adapt to rapid changes, and find ways to thrive where we least expect it." A few delegates scoffed at her words. "Resilience," a floating jelly-like entity said. "They are fragile. Their conflicts destroy their own kind constantly. They are not a species to fear." Kyra shook her head. "That is exactly why we should not attack them. History shows that those who underestimate humans always pay a price. They are clever, unpredictable, and capable of extraordinary creativity. If we invade too soon, we risk losses we cannot afford." Varnes watched quietly, its glowing eyes sweeping the room. "Your warnings are noted, Kyra," it said calmly, "but we must consider the potential." "The potential for what?" Another delegate, a bird-like species with golden feathers, squawked. "They have nothing to offer. We have entire worlds of resources at our disposal. Why waste time on a small planet that can barely protect itself?" Kyra's fins bristled. "Because intelligence and adaptability cannot be measured by size or weapons. Humans have a way of turning disadvantage into strength. They survive against the odds. That is a dangerous quality when ignored." Varnes nodded slowly. "Yet their fleets are small, their reach limited. The Council's vote will decide the matter. Are we to preemptively strike Earth or leave them for now?" The room buzzed with excitement. Many were eager to seize the opportunity before humanity became a more significant threat. Others, more cautious, hesitated. Still, the majority was swayed by greed and confidence. "Vote," Varnes commanded. One by one, the delegates submitted their votes, floating discs glowing in the colors of their respective civilizations. The final tally was overwhelming. Earth was declared a target. The Council agreed that humanity could be conquered with little risk. Kyra's protests were quietly dismissed. Back on Earth, the sun rose over the planet's eastern horizon, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink. Life continued as usual. Cities bustled, oceans shimmered, and forests swayed with the morning breeze. Humanity, as always, was busy, fighting its small wars, celebrating its small victories, and unaware of the cosmic debate that had just sealed its fate. In a small observatory in the Andes, Dr. Maya Patel adjusted her telescope. frowning at the strange readings she had been tracking for weeks. Satellites were reporting unusual gravitational fluctuations, and signals from deep space showed anomalies that did not match any known cosmic phenomenon. "These readings can't be natural," she muttered to herself. Her assistant, a young intern named Leo, peered over her shoulder. "What do you mean?" Leo asked. "Are we in danger?" Maya shook her head. "I don't know. But something is out there, moving in ways that shouldn't be possible. I've never seen anything like this before." Meanwhile, in the United States, the military was running simulations. Analysts noted that several unusual events, satellite disruptions, untraceable signals, sudden changes in asteroid movements, were occurring simultaneously around Earth. They were small events, seemingly unconnected, but enough to raise concern. Colonel James Hargrove, head of the Space Defense Division, tapped his finger against the screen. "We need to prepare for anything. If this is more than coincidence, humanity could be facing a threat unlike anything we've ever imagined." Despite their warnings, most humans remained unaware of the danger. Humanity's confidence lay in their ability to solve problems, in their ingenuity, and in their stubborn refusal to give up. These qualities had allowed them to survive plagues, wars, and natural disasters. And now, unknowingly, they were about to face a challenge unlike any before. Back in the council chamber, the alien fleets were being mobilized. Ships of unimaginable size and power were being readied for the assault on Earth. Kyra watched silently, her glowing eyes reflecting worry. She knew that the humans were underestimated at their peril. "They will not be easy to defeat," she whispered to herself, "and we may live to regret this decision." The other council members dismissed her concern, too busy planning victory celebrations. Warships were loaded, fleets synchronized, and plans for invasion finalized. For them, humanity was a minor obstacle, a curiosity at best before ultimate conquest. But as the alien fleets moved toward Earth, something remarkable was happening on the planet below. Humanity, small and seemingly insignificant in the vast universe, continued to grow, innovate, and adapt. Scientists like Maya Patel were deciphering the signals that no one else noticed. Engineers were building technology that could change the course of the future. Communities, often divided, were learning to work together in ways that strengthened them. In the end, the council had made a choice, guided by arrogance and fear of missed opportunity. They ignored the warnings, believing humans to be fragile and predictable. But every history lesson from countless worlds in the galaxy had proven the same truth: never underestimate humanity. As the alien fleets approached the blue planet, silent in the vastness of space, the first signs of human ingenuity began to awaken. Satellites picked up anomalies, telescopes captured signals, and hidden laboratories worked tirelessly to understand the unknown. Humans were not ready for war, yet in their curiosity and determination, they had already begun to prepare. The first sparks of resistance, small, subtle, and unnoticed, flickered in secret, waiting for the right moment to ignite. And far above them, the council watched with confidence, unaware that their assumptions were about to be challenged in ways no one could predict. The alien fleets moved through the darkness of space with quiet confidence. Millions of ships, some the size of mountains, advanced toward Earth like a shadow falling over the planet. Their commanders believed victory would be swift. They imagined the humans panicking, their cities falling, and their small armies crumbling under the power of advanced alien technology. On the bridge of the flagship Vortexus, Admiral Tharian watched the blue planet grow larger in the viewing port. "Prepare to deploy the strike forces," he commanded. "By the time they know we are here, resistance will be impossible." Kyra, still uneasy, floated beside him. "You underestimate them," she warned. "Humans have a way of adapting that you cannot predict. Do not assume they will simply fall." Tharian laughed, a deep, echoing sound that filled the bridge. "Adaptation, They are a primitive species. They survive by luck and stubbornness, nothing more. You worry too much." Despite the mocking tone, Kyra's mind raced. She had seen species in the past that seemed weak at first, only to rise in unexpected ways. Humanity might be small, but their unpredictability could turn even the most confident plans into disaster. Meanwhile, on Earth, life went on as usual. People were unaware of the approaching armada, but anomalies in space were beginning to be noticed by observatories around the world. Dr. Maya Patel stared at her screen in disbelief. "Leo, look at this," she said, pointing to a pattern forming on the monitor. "These signals, they are coordinated. Someone or something is approaching Earth, and fast." Leo's eyes widened. "Do you think it's aliens?" Maya hesitated. "It's possible. Whatever it is, it's moving with precision and intelligence. We need to alert the authorities. We may be running out of time." At the United Nations, global leaders convened an emergency session. Satellite imagery confirmed large objects approaching Earth, moving faster than any human technology could achieve. Panic rippled through the room, but scientists and strategists quickly took control. Colonel James Hargrove stood at the front of the room, projecting maps and simulations. "We don't know their intentions," he said firmly, "but we cannot assume they are friendly. We must prepare for the worst-case scenario, invasion. Our advantage is our knowledge of Earth. We know our terrain, our weather, and our people. We must use that to our benefit." The leaders listened carefully. Plans were drawn up quickly. Cities would be fortified, critical infrastructure hidden or protected, and communications encrypted to prevent interference. Humanity was preparing to face a force far beyond its experience, but the determination in their eyes was unmistakable. The first strike came without warning. Alien ships descended into the upper atmosphere, casting shadows over sprawling cities. Lasers and energy beams lit the sky as humans watched in terror. Yet, to the aliens' surprise, the humans did not scatter. Instead, they moved with coordination, using buildings, underground tunnels, and improvised shields to protect themselves. In New York City, emergency sirens blared. Civilians were guided into subways and reinforced shelters. Engineers activated hidden systems, automated drones, electromagnetic barriers, and repurposed satellites that disrupted alien sensors. "This is impossible," muttered Admiral Tharian as he watched the chaos on his screens. "They should have fallen instantly." Kyra floated beside him, her expression calm but serious. "I warned you. Humans adapt. They find ways to turn your strength into weakness." In the skies above the Pacific, fighter jets armed with experimental human technology intercepted alien drones. Guided missiles and smart weapons, though primitive compared to alien technology, were used creatively. Pilots worked in coordination, drawing patterns designed to confuse and mislead the alien targeting systems. Each strike, though small, forced the alien commanders to rethink their strategies. No planet in the Council's history had resisted so quickly or effectively. Humanity was not only fighting back, they were learning in real time, analyzing the aliens' behavior and exploiting weaknesses with ingenuity. On the ground, humanity showed its resilience in countless ways. Farmers used natural landscapes to hide supplies and create traps. Engineers converted civilian vehicles into mobile command units. Scientists hacked alien signals, slowly gaining insights into their communication patterns. In the Andes, Dr. Maya Patel discovered that the signals interfering with satellites were actually a form of alien communication. Working with a team of global researchers, she began to decipher patterns, sending real-time intelligence to Earth's defense networks. "Every species has weaknesses," she said, looking at the data. "If we understand them, we can fight back smarter, not just harder." And humanity did just that. Within days, humans had developed strategies that confused alien fleets. Ships that had assumed dominance were being ambushed by clever maneuvers. Communication lines were disrupted by electromagnetic pulses generated from repurposed satellites. Alien surveillance probes were captured and studied, giving humanity insights into their enemies' technology. Back on the flagship Vortexus, Admiral Tharian grew increasingly frustrated. "Every attack is countered," he growled. "How is it possible?" "They should not be able to respond like this." Kyra's eyes were steady. "Because they are human. They do not rely solely on power. They rely on creativity, adaptability, and determination. You cannot predict them with simulations or calculations. That is why you are failing." Tharian's hands clenched around the control panel. He had underestimated them. Every assumption he made about their weakness had been proven wrong. Humanity was not simply reacting, they were innovating, turning desperation into advantage. In the deserts of Africa, humans created decoy installations that drew alien fire, protecting critical cities. In Europe, engineers developed energy shields using modified solar arrays that absorbed alien attacks. In Asia, fighter pilots and civilian drones worked together to disrupt alien supply lines. Across the planet, humanity was uniting, using every resource, skill, and piece of knowledge to defend their home. Despite the odds, the aliens began to respect humanity, even as they attacked. Admiral Tharian could not ignore the strange feeling growing within him, admiration mixed with fear. Every countermeasure, every adaptation, seemed to come from nowhere. Humans were unpredictable, relentless, and astonishingly resourceful. Kyra watched silently. She knew the Council would never forgive themselves if the invasion failed. "They will survive this," she whispered, "and they will grow stronger. You cannot stop them, not with brute force alone." In the United States, Colonel Hargrove coordinated defenses with a calm authority that inspired people around the world. Humanity's resilience shone brightest in its people. Volunteers rebuilt damaged communication systems. Farmers shared supplies with cities. Engineers improvised weapons and shields. Dr. Maya Patel, working alongside Leo and other scientists, discovered that some alien sensors relied on specific energy patterns. Using this knowledge, humans were able to blind parts of the alien fleet temporarily. It was a small victory, but it filled the world with hope. For the first time, the aliens experienced something they had never faced before, a species fighting back not with sheer power, but with determination, unity, and creativity. Every move they made was met with an unexpected human response. Every plan they had carefully crafted crumbled against ingenuity they had not predicted. The battle for Earth was no longer simple. Alien ships that had expected easy victory were now facing losses. Communication failures, disrupted weapons systems, and human counterattacks forced them to retreat from key areas. Admiral Tharian paced the command bridge, fury and disbelief warring within him. "How can this be?" he demanded. "They are supposed to be primitive." Kyra's gaze was calm, almost serene. "They are more than that. They are humans, and you have underestimated them at your peril." Across Earth, humans began to realize that they could defend themselves, even against beings far more advanced. Their unity, creativity, and courage gave them an edge that raw technology alone could not provide. And far above, the alien council watched, some in disbelief, some in fear. The warning had been given. Humanity had been underestimated. The consequences of ignoring that warning were becoming painfully clear. The first phase of the invasion was over. Humanity had survived. And in doing so, they had proven something extraordinary, that no matter the odds, no matter the enemy, humans could adapt, survive, and rise stronger than before. Kyra, silent among the aliens, allowed herself a small smile. "They are not merely survivors," she whispered. "They are something more, something we cannot ignore." And with that, the battle for Earth entered a new phase, one in which humans were no longer just defending their planet, but showing the galaxy that underestimating humanity was a grave mistake. The alien fleets hung in orbit, battered and confused. What had been expected as a swift conquest had become a grueling battle of attrition. Ships designed to crush worlds were being outmaneuvered by humans, who had no advanced fleets yet displayed a creativity that seemed almost instinctive. Admiral Tharian could hardly believe the reports coming from his commanders. "What is happening?" he demanded. "How can a primitive species resist like this?" Kyra floated beside him, calm and composed. "They are not primitive," she said softly. "They are human. And humans survive in ways that are beyond prediction. This is what I warned the Council. Ignoring the warning was a mistake we cannot undo. On Earth, humanity's defenses were growing stronger every hour. Doctor." Maya Patel and her team had discovered how to disrupt the alien communication network. By sending counter-signals through captured alien probes, they created confusion in the enemy fleet. Alien ships misfired, collided, and in some cases, drifted helplessly in orbit. Colonel James Hargrove coordinated global defenses with precision. Cities that had been partially destroyed were being reinforced overnight. Engineers modified existing infrastructure, turning skyscrapers into energy conductors, bridges into traps, and tunnels into command centers. Humanity's greatest strength was its ability to learn quickly. Every encounter with the aliens became a lesson. Every attack that failed prompted an immediate response, more clever and unexpected than before. In the deserts of Australia, civilians and military personnel worked side by side. Drones, repurposed from civilian use, were deployed to confuse alien targeting systems. Farmers redirected rivers to flood alien landing zones. Even ordinary citizens contributed, improvising tools and defenses with whatever they could find. In the oceans, submarines carried out daring maneuvers against alien ships attempting to land. Humans had never faced such technology, yet their creativity allowed them to anticipate alien strategies and strike where they were weakest. The world had united in a way it never had before. Borders, politics, and old rivalries seemed small in comparison to the shared goal: survival. Humanity's spirit burned brighter than any weapon, and that spirit was contagious. In space, the alien fleet began to falter. Ships that had been confident in their superiority now struggled to maintain order. Supply lines were disrupted. Communication between fleets was patchy. Humans were learning quickly, and each tactic they employed was unpredictable. Admiral Tharian's frustration grew. "They adapt faster than any algorithm can predict," he shouted. "We have superior technology, but it is useless against their unpredictability." Kyra watched silently, her expression calm but full of understanding. This is the danger of underestimating them. Their strength is not in power, but in their spirit, their ability to think, and their ability to unite. You cannot defeat a species that refuses to surrender. In Europe, a human counterattack was underway. Small teams, using captured alien technology, disabled critical systems on the enemy ships. Lasers and shields were turned against the attackers, causing chaos among the ranks of the Council's fleet. In the United States, Colonel Hargrove coordinated with Maya Patel to launch a coordinated satellite strike. By altering the energy signatures, they created phantom targets that led alien weapons away from populated areas. Each human victory, no matter how small, demoralized the alien forces. Ships that had assumed superiority now faced losses they had not imagined possible. Confidence was fading, replaced by confusion and fear. On the flagship Vortexus, Admiral Tharian pounded the console. "We must retreat. Humanity is not a species to fight," he shouted. "They are different, too dangerous." Kyra's voice was quiet but firm. "It is too late for retreat. The humans have already learned from you. Every move you make is predictable to them because you are rigid in your tactics. They are adaptable, clever, and brave. They do not fear death. They fear only failure. That is why they survive." For the first time, Tharian felt the weight of true fear. Humanity was not merely resisting, they were winning, and with each victory their confidence and power grew. On Earth, Dr. Patel analyzed intercepted alien messages. "They are panicking," she said. "Their coordination is collapsing. We can push them further. We can end this." Colonel Hargrove nodded. "Prepare global countermeasures. We hit them where they are weakest. The planet belongs to us and we will defend it." In the Pacific, humans launched a daring operation to disable the alien mothership. Submarines, drones, and specialized aircraft worked together, using ingenuity and tactics the aliens could not anticipate. Energy shields, decoy signals, and synchronized strikes created chaos among the invaders. One by one, alien ships were disabled or forced to retreat. Kyra watched in amazement as humans executed a plan that would have been impossible for any other species. Their ingenuity, courage, and determination combined to create a force greater than any technology. "They are extraordinary," she whispered. "Not because of weapons, but because of who they are. You cannot destroy what you cannot understand." Admiral Tharian could only stare as ships he had once considered unstoppable were destroyed or captured. The humans had done what he thought impossible. They had turned their planet into a fortress, and themselves into warriors capable of facing a galactic armada. The Council had ignored the warnings, believing humans to be weak and predictable. Now they watched as their forces suffered one humiliating defeat after another. Delegates whispered anxiously, realizing the gravity of their mistake. Kyra rose and addressed them. "You were warned. Humanity is not primitive. They survive, adapt, and innovate. If you continue this war, your fleets will be destroyed. Humanity is more than a species, they are a force. Respect them or perish." The Council fell silent. For the first time in history, they understood true fear. They had underestimated humanity, and the consequences were unfolding before them. On Earth, the final battle reached its climax. Alien ships that had managed to remain in orbit were met with precise, coordinated strikes. Humans used everything at their disposal: satellites, aircraft, underground weapons, and environmental advantages. The aliens, powerful as they were, could not adapt fast enough to counter the ingenuity and determination of humans united. In New York City, Colonel Hargrove watched the final alien ship fall on the screens. A cheer rose from the command center. Across the planet, people celebrated small victories, realizing that humanity had not only survived, they had triumphed. Dr. Patel smiled at the screen, exhausted but elated. "We did it," she whispered. "We actually did it." In orbit, Admiral Tharian surrendered. "We underestimated them," he admitted, his voice heavy with defeat. "They are remarkable," Kyra nodded. "Yes. And you will not make the same mistake again. Humanity has earned its place in the galaxy. They are not to be ignored, feared, or underestimated." The remaining alien forces retreated, their arrogance replaced by respect. Humanity had proven that raw power alone was not enough to dominate a species that fought with heart, intelligence, and unity. The Council convened after the battle. Delegates who had once laughed at humanity now spoke in hushed tones. Kyra stood before them, her voice clear and firm. "Let this be a lesson. You judged humanity by their size and technology, not by their spirit. They have shown that a species can rise against overwhelming odds through courage, creativity, and unity. Humanity is a force the galaxy cannot ignore." The Council was silent, absorbing the truth. For the first time, humans were no longer just another species. They were a symbol of resilience, ingenuity, and hope. On Earth, life slowly returned to normal. Cities were rebuilt, communities strengthened, and people looked to the stars with newfound pride. Humanity had faced the impossible and won. Dr. Patel, standing on a hill overlooking the rebuilt city, looked up at the night sky. "We survived," she said softly. "And now we are ready for whatever comes next." Colonel Hargrove stood beside her, arms crossed, a small smile on his face. The galaxy should know one thing: humans are never to be underestimated. We will defend our planet, and we will rise stronger every time we are challenged. And far above, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter, as if acknowledging that Earth had produced a species that had changed the course of the galaxy forever. Humans had triumphed, not because they were the strongest, but because they were clever, united, and unyielding. They had survived what no one believed possible, proving to the universe that humanity was a force to be respected, feared, and admired. The warnings had been ignored. The Council had learned too late. Humanity had not only survived, they had triumphed, and the galaxy would never forget it.